Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Always Moving podcast.
Hi.
This is my fiance, Alyssa.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say is this is episode number 37. Now, we're going to talk Dallas.
Dallas.
I'm gonna jump right in on this. So I guess a little background was when we did our Columbus trip, we were part of that massive Spirit Airlines canceled every flight in the country. And then we got these $50 vouchers to an airline that left us stranded. So we're like, wow, looking forward to flying with them again. So I don't even know how it happened. How did you come across Dallas? And
all right. So I was looking for cities to visit the Vincent van Gogh exhibit.
Now this is probably at like 2-3 a.m.
Probably. Yeah. And I was going in alphabetical order, and I was looking at the cities, and I was looking at flights from Tampa to this city, preferably nonstop flights that worked on the days because, we're bougie and we like to fly nonstop flights.
Just her. I'm very scuzzy when I have to get to wherever I'm headed. But yeah, so I guess out of nowhere, she's like, yeah, we're going to Dallas. And the 23rd of Thursday of September, that was said weird, we took off. Now, we left Tampa at around 6 p.m.-ish, something like that. And Alyssa's like, oh, I'm going to do some work. Get some stuff done.
I had a huge project to work on and like another huge project to work on. So it's going to be an uninterrupted 2.5 hours nonstop flight to Dallas. Just get my work done, have my laptop out and everything. But then Richard Courtney entered.
So we had the window in the middle and there was going to be one other person in the aisle. And I'm like, you know what? I can sit in the middle. I can just block you from anybody. And it's just like, no. Like, you like the window.
You actually did offer to sit
the
middle.
I'm a hero.
But I thought you wanted more leg room from the window.
There's no more leg room anywhere. Not when you're my size.
All right.
But bring in Richard Courtney. The guy who, even before he sat down, was already talking. And the moment he sat down, he's like, well, I hope we land. Or it's like some dumb shit where he's like, oh, I guess we'll land, but are we going to be alive or something? And I'm like, oh my God, I should have sat in the middle. This
guy, he's got to be 5'7". He's late 40s, scruffy beard.
But he's still covered in shit from his work. He's like a drywaller and he's still got powder and paint and stuff on him.
He does something with construction. Yeah. And he talked, when I say literally, I meant from the time he sat down to the time he got off the plane, he talked the entire 2.5 hour flight about everything, about why storage units are being built because there's going to be a ton of homeless people from the housing crash to
horoscopes or astronomy or astrology or whatever,
his girlfriend and her kids,
and how he doesn't like how she raises her kids. And we're like, dude, no one fucking cares, man. Unions.
He's been to Minneapolis, all over, Phoenix, California. He couldn't stop talking about all the places.
The vaccine.
South Dakota. He's not vaccinated. He's like, no, I'm immune compromised, but if it's my time, it's my time. I'm like, okay. But he did buy us 2 beverages each.
Yeah. Well, because he bought himself 2 beers.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, do you want to get anything, sweetheart? And you're like, you better get me something. And then so we're like, yeah, I'll get a beer and wine. And then he bought it for us, which was nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. He was a nice guy, just talked the whole time. But Richard Courtney, shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, I hope you're doing fine wherever you are. Apparently he hasn't been home in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Anywho.
He got his garage robbed. I know everything about this guy.
We do.
His girlfriend lives on a neighborhood between a good and a bad. It's right on the edge in Phoenix. So I don't know where that is, but It was the beginning of a long flight, and Alyssa got no work done. Every time she tried to like lean into her computer, he's just like, "Oh, what do you do at this job?" I'm like, fuck, man, like this is
Every
killing my
time.
time because like she's gonna have to do this work on our vacay time, and this guy just wouldn't shut the hell up. And it's like, and he wouldn't take a cue. Alyssa would like open her laptop.
I was typing.
And she just starts going, and he's just like,
and he did say, if you want me to shut up and stop talking, let me know. But that's really rude to say to somebody when you have to sit next to them for the rest of the flight. It's gonna be awkward.
Yeah, and I thought that was more like oh, I'm talking to you now. Oh, I'm joking. Tell me to shut up if I'm bothering you. Not, oh, I'm gonna talk for 2.5 nonstop hours. He had no saliva left. He just talked the whole damn time. But then we arrived in Dallas.
Yeah. We arrived in Dallas.
And we took a Uber to our Airbnb.
$40 Uber.
Yeah.
Mind you. Dallas is very spread out. You need a car for everything. And I guess we'll get into that later, but everything is really spread out in Dallas.
Yeah. So there's stuff to do, like, go to a Cowboys game or a baseball game or go to Six Flags or go wherever. But it's all like 10 miles over to the city or more, which isn't ideal when there's like a train, but we didn't really have a lot of days there. So we're not like, oh, we're going to train all the way out to just see a stadium and then come back or whatever. But yeah, Dallas is very spread out. It's big. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of people, but downtown Dallas is not a lot. There's not a lot there. There's a lot of just tall buildings.
Homeless people.
Yeah, it's pretty dirty. There's a lot of homeless.
Very dirty.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
So we were driving. We stayed at an Airbnb. It was in a nice area, but there's nothing near the area. There was no, like, we got there, we're like, what are we going to eat? We didn't see anything. There wasn't a lot of lights outside.
No.
And Alyssa's like, I ain't walking in that shit. There's no street lights here. Dallas sucks. I'm like, babe, don't worry. I've been lifting. And so what? We ordered like gyros.
Yeah, we did Uber Eats. Yeah.
And we also Uber Eated beer.
Uber Eats?
What? Yeah, Uber ate beer. And beer and White Claws.
An 18 case of Miller Lite and a 12-pack of White Claws.
But your ID didn't. What happened with the Uber Eats thing?
So our food arrived first, and then the booze arrived, but we didn't know the booze were going to arrive as early as it did. So we didn't bring our IDs out. And if you're ordering alcohol through DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, the driver has to scan your ID to verify your age. So obviously I didn't have it. I got a picture of my ID on my phone, and the guy tried to take a picture of that with his phone, then it didn't work and it canceled the order. But then Uber Eats charged me a $15 return delivery fee, even though we kept the booze. So I ended up I texted the Uber support people, and I got a refund for the booze minus the $15 fee. So I guess it's all right.
Yeah, we got 30 drinks for $15. I don't know if
is that right now?
Yeah, okay. Probably.
Yeah, it's right. 18 plus 12. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's 30. What are you drinking there? Because it seems to have affected your quick math here. Yeah, so we got the drinks, and one of Alyssa's qualities that I love is her Americanness to complain. So that got all the beer and seltzers basically free. So that was day one.
Yeah.
It was eye-opening. We're like, okay, what are we gonna do with Dallas? It was a Thursday, so Alyssa had to work most of the day Friday.
Yeah.
And it was just like, Lyndon, just get the hell out of the way, occupy yourself, walk around. So I went and found some biscuit.
Ooh, Biscuit Love or Biscuit Kitchen? Biscuit Bar.
The Biscuit Bar in Deep Ellum.
That was good. What'd you have?
It's it's like a biscuit breakfast restaurant, and I had I had like a Cuban sandwich biscuit.
I had one with strawberry preserves on it. I think it was like the French toast biscuit or something. I had strawberry preserves.
It's called strawberry jam for you normal people.
And it had some
miles per hour.
We're in America. We use those terms. Strawberry preserves, some type of meat, and it was like a French toast biscuit. So it was like the salty and sweet. It was really good. I liked it.
Smelled good.
Yeah.
And then she was able to do her work and all that stuff. And then the whole reason we went to Dallas was to see the Van Gogh exhibit, the immersive Van Gogh Dallas exhibit.
It's all around the country. Go check it out in your local city or go visit another city. It's through the rest of the year. There's some in 2022. It's actually really cool. It's an hour long, but they show Van Gogh's paintings on the wall and they add visual effects and music and sound. It
goes
effects.
On the floor. There's like different like cuts in the wall, so you get a different perspective in each of the rooms. You can go upstairs in the second room.
But the way that they show the paintings, it kind of like builds the painting. So it starts with like one focus point and then it just builds. So you get to really see. I'm gonna let you finish the sentence.
I wanted you to. I was so invested. I can't imagine how the listener's gonna feel. But yeah, Van Gogh is my favorite artist, and I went to the room where he was found dead, and the place where he always drinks absinthe. It's north of Paris.
Oh.
It's a Val d'Auvers, something like that. Val d'Auvers or something like that. It's a train. You can take a train from Paris and go there. It's a charming little town. They have paintings all in the actual show. The exhibit are in that little town. So there's a church and there's all this stuff. And I saw when you walk around the town, the church is there. Then there's a placard beside it, and it shows his painting and explains it. And you can do like go through his steps, and there's like the painting in the fields with the crows in the air. And it's like, here's a placard here, and this is where he painted it. And then, there's his grave site, and it's really neat.
All right. Well, since we're plugging international trips, in Amsterdam, I saw the Van Gogh Museum, which was dope. It's 3 stories, and it's all about his life. So it starts like in the beginning, how like he started painting when he was like 21 or something, 28. Oh, because I messaged you.
That's a 7-year difference.
All right, I think it was like 28 because I messaged you and I was like, yeah, you can start becoming a painter too if you wanted, because you were 28 at the time. So yeah, he was like 28 and he painted for like 10 years or something, and then he went crazy and then got committed to an asylum. But yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
Are these legit stats? Can we look these up?
Somebody should look them up to confirm, but I'm kind of accurate in it was late 20s. He didn't paint that long, and he cut off his ear. He was the one who cut off his ear, right? And he cut off his ear, and then he just kept painting, and then they said that he did some of his best work when he was in the loony bin. And yeah.
You're trying to recollect. It's adorable. So then, we're in the exhibit. We're in the second room.
And then you propose!
I'm trying to build it up, but yes, we proposed and we're engaged AF. So I was planning this out. I bought her we tried rings. We saw like shapes and cuts, and
we went to Hellsberg Diamond, shout out to them, because it was between an emerald stone and a pear stone. I couldn't make up my mind, so we went to the store and we tried on all different types of settings and stones, and we landed on the morganite emerald ring. And then in the store I found a ring that I love. It is a beautiful morganite emerald diamond, and it's got diamonds on this side, but it's not like your standard basic diamonds on this side. It's got like patterns, and there's 3 of them, and it's so beautiful.
And there's an adorable reason why you can't show your ring right now, because I couldn't wait to propose, so I didn't get it sized before.
Yeah, it's getting sized, and it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get sized. I don't know why. I don't know where they send it, but I don't have my ring on, but that's why.
I'm so cute. So I was running through the plans. I was messaging some of my friends because I'm like, oh shit, it's happening. Oh shit. And I'm like, I have the ring in my shorts and we're walking there and it's like, oh, I'm excited to see the exhibit and everything. But this back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, like, oh shit, today's the day. And so they do like a security checkpoint, like to go through, they wave metal detector, you go through your pockets, you don't have a gun or anything because it's Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have the ring in my right pocket. So I take the stuff out of my left and Alyssa's getting checked over somewhere else. So she's not there. And then the guy goes up to my right and he's like, you got something there. I'm like, oh, yo, man, this is a ring. Like, he's like, you proposing? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I won't say anything. I'm like, man, you won't say anything. Me and this guy. So then we go past security and we walk upstairs. Alyssa goes first. And then me and the security guard were like, we pointed at each other. We're like, yeah, shit's happened. And then I'm like, okay. We kind of talked about, she didn't want like a big ass stadium, like, oh, go and everybody's there. And then she says no and gets booed. But I'm like, this will be cool. It's a unique time. It's a nice place. So did you have any idea?
Well, I knew because we bought the ring or we picked the ring.
Yeah, but did you know it was going to happen?
No.
At that point?
No.
Step one, surprise arrest. So we're up in the second room. We go upstairs and she stands in the corner. And I'm like, I got her. I know how to do this. I know how to get her. And it's going to be the smooth little move. So what it is, she stands in the corner. I'm like, oh, babe, I'll take your photo. And, wait for this. Gets a picture. It's like the sunflowers and stuff in the back. I'm like, oh, it looks nice. And she has her mask and she's holding her mask in her hand. I'm like, ooh, that looks awkward. Let me take this. And then I drop down to one knee. Try this on instead. I blocked your face. Boom, ring box, smooth as hell. I'm just the slyest, most romantic guy in the world, and I wasn't nervous whatsoever. But I thought it was pretty cool. It's like, oh, give me that mask. It looks awkward. Try this instead. Will you marry me, Al?
Yes.
Is what she said. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was cute. So you took my picture, but you took it for a second time. So like, why is he taking my picture again? You took my picture and then you asked me to marry you. And it was just so cute.
She says I was super nervous. For some reason,
You
she's
were
not
very
bringing that up.
nervous.
I wanted her to bring it up naturally, but I got a prod.
You were. I didn't want to tell all of your fans and listeners across the globe how nervous you were to ask me. You asked me to marry you.
I never get nervous, and I was shitting bricks. I'm like, oh my God.
But when my ring gets back from being resized, you can re-propose.
See that?
2 proposals.
Read them and weep. So, and then we're like, oh, we got like a poster. We finished the.
Yeah, it was fun.
Finished the exhibit. Finished the exhibit more engaged than we were when we started it.
Yeah.
But we were within walking distance to our Airbnb, so we're like, we'll throw our stuff back in the apartment and enjoy the night. And then we went back downtown, ring on hand.
Yeah, saw the eyeball.
It was tight. It was very tight on her finger, and it's just like pinching it off. I'm like,
it was making marks on my finger, and it was like red and everything, but it was just so beautiful. I didn't want to take it off. My finger is now missing my ring.
I done good, fans.
I love that ring.
And me.
And you.
But we went downtown. There was not a lot really downtown. If you go down, like, it's actually Main Street is where everything is. And we went to like a taco restaurant called Uno Mas.
Yeah. We had 3-way guacamole. So we had a pineapple guacamole. We had
bacon, avocado.
Yeah, bacon. And then we had a regular one with like humongous portions.
Yeah, we got enchiladas and we were already full. We had margaritas.
Margaritas were good.
Yeah, it was great. Then we just were like, I'm tired, you're tired, let's just go back. We got all these drinks to drink at home. We're just old as hell.
Just engaged and old.
Old engaged people. And I don't know. We just went back and just chilled.
We watched British Bake Off.
Yeah, that's how old and engaged we are. We went back to watch Great British Bake Off. And it was just great. It was a great time. And then so we left Sunday. Saturday we didn't have a plan.
No plan.
because there's not a lot in the city center. So we're like, we should walk around. We'll go get breakfast in Deep Ellum, which is kind of like a
Hipster.
hip area with a lot of brunches and bars
Murals,
and all this stuff. And it's like
graffiti.
really cool. We go to a place called All Good Cafe, and I'm like,
Mm.
I'm engaged now. I'm gonna eat all the shittiest Texas food I can eat because it doesn't matter. I'm engaged. She said yes. I can eat what I'm just kidding. And I had a chicken fried steak and eggs with like hash browns.
Explain what a chicken fried steak is.
So it's like a steak fried like fried chicken. It's like covered in batter and fried, and it was delicious. Covered in gravy. It was just the most. I drank a bunch of beers last night, and now I'm engaged, and now I want to eat chicken steak.
And we had a carafe of mimosas
that we didn't pay for.
Yeah, our server, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but our server didn't charge us for any drinks. Lyndon had a coffee, we had a carafe of mimosas, just charged for food. I forget what it's called, but it was 2 biscuits, 2 sausage patties, gravy, jalapenos, avocado. What else was on it? Pico de gallo, some type of cheese. It was good.
Yeah, it was a nice place to eat.
Yeah.
It was a cool area. It wasn't expensive. And then we're like, well, fuck, like, what are we gonna do? Let's walk towards downtown. And we kind of just walk around. Deep Elm's got a nice.
You got lost. Admit that you got.
No,
us
I knew
lost.
where we were going. We were headed. We were headed towards the historical village of Dallas.
We were lost.
We were not lost. We were weaving through the murals and shops
and parking lots
and shops and murals.
You were taking us to some bridge
because we had to go under it.
We were lost.
This is engaged life. And then we're just like, right before we get to this bridge, and then like kind of Deep Ellum ends, and there's like nothing else there. There was the Deep Ellum Brewing Company, and we're like, oh, you want to go in and get a drink or whatever? Just we're on vacay, let's live dangerously. And then we were there for like hours.
We were there for I think 5 hours.
We did a brewery tour. They had giant Jenga. There was live music.
We walked in, we saw the outdoor patio and it looked cool and it had like a little water fan, whatever. So like, okay, let's go check it. And then we walked inside. Lyndon goes to the bathroom, and then I order us drinks. I ordered a peach seltzer, and I got Lyndon their famous blonde IPA, I think it was. And then the lady was like, yeah, we have a tour going on at 1:00, which was in 3 minutes. And if you want to go on, I was like, well, yeah, we're here.
You could take our drinks on it.
Yeah. So shout out to Gaston. And we went on a tour of the brewery.
Yeah, it was us. There was another couple, and then like a threesome. There was like a group of 3 people, and it was a pretty cool tour. Like they showed the machines. Like if you're just hanging out on a Sunday and watch how it's made, they have like the little conveyor belts that the cans would go on, and this slot just like Pringles loaded of lids that just get put on. It was a really neat tour. And Gaston, you killed it, my man.
And we also, because I want to do another plug, we found out that Cigar City Brewing Company in Ybor, Tampa, is their sister. So we got to go there.
I'm getting a lot of plugs in this one. I'm going to tag
them
lot of people.
Send us all of your products.
Yeah, we could try them out, review them, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was great. On the tour, we got free beers. So we just got more beers.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then we were just chilling. The live band started. I forget what they were called.
Iron High?
Iron something.
Iron Vibe?
Gotta be Hyde. And then we had like the biggest giant Jenga tower going, which I won.
You won both games?
I won all the time, everything.
That's why I like playing games with you. We have Rummy Cup here, and now I'm getting better. But Lyndon has won like 15 games to 2.
Of our 15 games. And then that was all we did on Saturday, right? We went back. You passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
And I was watching City Lights, the Charlie Chaplin movie.
In black and white. Yeah. I fell asleep.
And then we were just having a time. And when Sunday rolled around, we had to fly at 1:30. We had beers in the fridge, and I was forced to drink them all.
So you can't bring them on the plane.
I had to chug 4 beers in about 35 minutes.
Well, I had to also drink 3 White Claws. So
you drank 2 White Claws.
2.5.
And I drank 4. So I was feeling fine. We're like, hey, let's go to a breakfast place in downtown. We saw restaurants everywhere.
There has to be breakfast, right?
There is not.
We legit walked all over Main Street and Commerce Street. There was no breakfast place. The one that we found had like a 20-30 minute wait, but the Uber from that place to the airport was like $67. So you're just like, oh my God.
We're like, hell, we'll just walk in the direction of the airport and then we'll just find one. And we come across a McDonald's and we're like,
we went to McDonald's.
And we're like, shit, we should just get McDonald's and we'll get like an egg McMuffin or whatever. And then the breakfast stopped serving. We're like, well, fuck.
We had no food.
Get to the airport. We finally get to the airport. I'm like coming down from my beers, getting hungry. And then we end up at Panda Express. We just think Panda Express and watching like some football and Bills.
Washington and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. And then we get on the plane, we fly home, and that was Dallas.
That was Dallas.
It was, and the thing too, apparently I have to take 50% of this blame, but I'm not going to, was that there was a huge Eagles-Cowboys game on the Monday.
That was equally our fault. So we love to go see sports, and for some reason, neither of us looked up what Cowboys game was happening that same weekend. We were in Dallas, and Dallas Cowboys played Philadelphia Eagles in Dallas Monday night.
And we're at the airport, and there's clearly a plane from Philly rolled in. There are all these Eagles fans, and then
we didn't go.
We watched the game, and this is all this exciting stuff.
They were doing the Hall of Fame induction for
Jimmy
Johnson and some other people, and what's his face was
there.
The old running back, not Emmitt Smith, the other one.
Emmitt Smith was there though.
Troy
Aikman, the quarterback.
No, the other running back.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
How about them Cowboys, right?
So yeah, we didn't go. And
that was our little trip to Dallas.
Yeah.
And to my listeners, I hope it was quite engaging.
Because we're engaged.
Oh! Anywho, Alyssa, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Fiance.
Yeah.
And to everyone listening, this has been episode number 37
whoop, whoop.
Of the Always Moving podcast.
Let's keep this thing moving.
I'm your host, Lyndon Suvanto, and as we always say around these parts,
let's keep this thing moving.